So this video is going to take what we learned in the last video and just apply it in solving proportions. In the last video we learned if we have this right triangle, we'll call it ABC, and if we draw an altitude going from our right angle to the hypotenuse, and this forms letter D, that this creates three similar triangles. It would be triangle ABC is similar, so the whole triangle is similar to triangle ADB, which is also going to be similar to triangle BDC. Right? So it creates these three similar triangles. Now, these corollaries that we're going to learn in the next couple minutes, if you can't remember them, it's really not that big of a deal. If you just can create this similarity statement, you can always still answer your questions, because AB and AD are in the same position, so we know that they are that they would have the same ratio. So we could create this ratio of AB over AD, and then we know that BC and DB fall in the same position, so we know that the two ratios will be equal to each other, and you can go ahead and create this just by drawing this similarity statement. So you can always refer back to this if you need to. So if you forget the corollaries, it's not a big deal, but they will help you to solve things a little bit quicker and possibly a little bit easier, since you do not have to worry about creating a similarity ratio or a proportion. All right, now let's just go through a few examples. So the first thing is proportions in which the means are equal. They occur pretty frequently in geometry. And remember, the means, if we wrote this out, it will be A to X is equal to X to B. Our means are the two inside numbers, and when they're equal, it occurs pretty frequently. So for any two positive numbers A and B, the geometric mean of A and B is a positive number X, such that A over X is equal to X over B. So it's telling us that our means are equal. Right? And we will just solve this the exact same way that we would cross multiplying and solving, but you just have to know it's called your geometric mean. All right, so here, find the geometric mean. So that tells us that I know it's A over X is equal to X over B. And they tell us that the two numbers that we're looking for, so our extremes in this case, are 6 and 15. So 6 over X is equal to X over 15. Once they tell me that we're looking for the geometric mean, I know that my means are going to be equal. And I can set up this proportion. So then we'll cross multiply. So then we'll have 6 times 15 and X times X. So X times X is equal to 6 times 15. So X squared is equal to 90. And then we will take the square root of each side. Now, I know that this page here said it is the positive number X. I still want you guys to get in the habit of solving things correctly algebraically. So X squared, so X is then equal to plus or minus the square root of 90. And then since we know that we're dealing with lengths here and triangles and figures, we will then say, well, we can't have negative, so X is equal to the square root of 90. All right, so I do want to see you guys get into the habit of doing the right thing algebraically, so that way in your classes in the future, you don't just forget that it's plus or minus, because this is telling us some number squared is equal to 90, and a negative number raised to the second power gives us a positive number, and a positive number raised to the second power gives us a positive number. Now, one of the things you have to do is you must simplify your radicals. So then we would ask ourselves, which number divides evenly into 90? So does 4 divide evenly? Which perfect square? So 4, 9, 16, 25, etc. Well, we know that 9 divides evenly into 90, so we can rewrite this as 9 times 10, and then we can take the square root of 9 is equal to 3. So this final answer, the geometric mean, so each X will be equal to 3 times the square root of 10. And if we plug them into our ratios, we would have an equal proportion. All right, so that's the first type of question we're going to do for this. Actually, this is going to be the last of this video. I was going to have you guys do a couple more questions on this video, but just to keep it a little bit shorter, we're going to stop this video and then we'll move on to another video. All right, so this was just finding your geometric mean. So if you're asked to find your geometric mean, we know that our means are equal, so we can create this ratio of A over X is equal to X over B, and then we can go ahead and solve for our two X's by doing cross multiplication. Just make sure you show me that it's actually equal to plus or minus, because I want to see the correct algebra. And then we would say, all right, well, it can't be a negative because we're dealing with geometry, sides, and etc. So we're only going to look at the positive number. All right, I know the definition says the positive number x, but I just want to see you guys do the correct algebra. All right, and that's it for this video.